Happy Silverman loves ancient Egypt, especially mummies. He doesn't think they're gross or scary. Haha, that's going to change real quick when he actually sees a mummy.
Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review.
Happy's class has a field trip to the local museum. They just got the mummy of a boy king who died 7,000 years ago. Mr. Horvat, the friendly science teacher, warns Happy to stick with the rest of the group, but Happy runs off by himself to see the mummy. A security guard says the room is closed. It takes Happy a few chapters to sneak into the Egyptian room. It's dark and warm. He sees the scary-looking mummy in the coffin. Happy leans over the mummy so he can smell the dead body. And what the heck, Happy? That's super gross and weird. Things get weirder when the mummy sits up. It tells Happy to come closer. Happy tries to escape, but an invisible force pushes him into the coffin. He smells death as he's sucked into the mummy's body. Part 2. The mummy is King Raman. Or is it Raman? If I say ramen, it makes him sound like food. Raman is made king at 12 years old when his father dies unexpectedly. He doesn't like being king. He butts heads with Khufu, the royal advisor. Khufu pressures him into doing cruel things like kill peasants and order the princess to marry Jafar. Raman is attacked in his bed, but it's a fake-out scare prank. His younger siblings play fight with him. As a joke, they take Raman's golden amulet. It's supposed to be a magical amulet. Raman takes it back. Everyone has beer for breakfast. I never thought I'd say that sentence in a Goosebumps review. A snake jumps out of the bowl and attacks Raman's throat. He dies instantly. Queen Isis asks an old magician named Vathor to bring Raman back to life. The spell doesn't work until a few days later, which is too late. Raman has already been turned into a mummy. They try to get Vathor to fix the mess, but both Vathor and the magic amulet are gone. Clearly, Vathor took the amulet and escaped into the future. Part 3. Happy hears Raman's voice inside his head. Raman says he's entered Happy's mind. He wants Happy to help him recover the Amulet of Osiris. Happy is scared, but he doesn't exactly have a choice. Raman can make Happy's head explode with pain if Happy disobeys. Raman attempts to steal Happy's body outright, leaving Happy trapped inside the mummy. Fortunately, Happy convinces Raman that he needs Happy's help to understand the modern world. Raman agrees to let Happy control their shared body. Good thing he does, too. Raman doesn't even know what Legos are. Everyone starts to think Happy is weird because he keeps talking to the mummy. Happy, don't talk out loud. Talk under your breath or something. Raman can sense where the amulet is. He guides Happy to its location. It's inside an abandoned house next door to Mr. Horvat's. When Happy goes inside, he's attacked by an old bearded man. Raman is disappointed that the man is not Vathor. It's a homeless man who's been hiding in the house. The next day at school, Raman senses the amulet in Mr. Horvat's classroom. He realizes Horvat is Vathor. He just changed his name a bit. I can't believe Vathor used his magic powers to travel into the far distant future only to become a middle school science teacher. What a weird decision on his part. Happy looks weird in front of the class again as he struggles against Raman's orders to attack Vathor. He wisely decides to wait until after school is over before getting the amulet. Vathor hid it in the supply closet like he wasn't even trying to hide it. Happy stops to take a selfie with the amulet. Really, Happy? This is not selfie time. But the entire thing is a trap. Vathor has taken over the brain of Happy's friend Jaden. Happy and Jaden fight over the amulet. The amulet shoots lightning at both of them. Part 4. Happy wakes up in ancient Egypt. Vathor has the amulet. He says Jaden isn't here because that would complicate the plot. I mean, he decided to leave Jaden behind when he time traveled. Vathor plans to kill Happy when the queen arrives. She steals the amulet and turns Vathor into a snake. Raman leaves Happy's mind. For a moment, it looks like Happy will be stuck in the past. Happy knocks himself out and wakes up back in the future, wondering if the whole thing was a dream. His new science teacher promises to take the class to the mummy exhibit next week. The end. Postbook follow-up. I think Part 4 needs a rewrite. The villain was defeated too easily, and there was no twist ending. Part of the problem is that the end is Vathor's first and only scene as the villain. We saw more of the fake-out villain Khufu than we did of Vathor. I actually think Khufu makes for a better villain than Vathor, since his personality and motivation were more well-defined. I still don't know Vathor's plan. He claims, "I'm the new king of Egypt." How? Why did he go to the future if he wanted to be the king of ancient Egypt? I liked Part 2 the most, although I could see some people argue that it's 40 pages of backstory, which could have been completed in 2 pages. Part 3 with Raman was good too. I think Raman could have been more intimidating and bloodthirsty, but I'm only saying that because I'm thinking of the movie Venom. That movie has the same monster inside the main character's head premise as this book, only it's an alien instead of a mummy. I like how Raman manages to be both sympathetic and obsessed with revenge. Overall, I enjoyed the book, outside of the last 20 pages. It could have tried harder to be scary, but the premise of a mummy trapped in your mind is admittedly scary enough for Goosebumps. My skeptical side is saying the book didn't need to be split up into 4 parts, and that was just a cheap trick to make the book 10 pages longer. I give Goosebumps House of Shivers number 3, Night of the Living Mummy, 8 mummies out of 10. Just like last time, I asked AI to write a review of the book for me. Here it is. Argle-Fumph Book Review, Argle-Fumph Book Review. I was excited when I saw the title of this book. Night of the Living Mummy sounds like a classic horror movie title, right? Sadly, this book isn't quite the mummy mayhem I was hoping for. Instead, it's a mix of ancient Egyptian drama, mind-swapping hijinks, and a whole lot of "what just happened" moments. Our hero is Harry Happy Silverman, a 12-year-old with a mummy obsession. He's thrilled that his city's museum is getting a real live mummy. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a mummy in person? Unfortunately, when Happy sneaks into the museum to see it, the mummy room is mysteriously closed. Not to worry, though, because Happy manages to break in, only to find out that the mummy, Raman, is not just sitting there looking creepy, he's actually waking up and heading straight for Happy. In a flashback to 5000 BC Egypt, we meet Raman, the boy king who's less thrilled about his royal duties and more interested in not being stabbed by a snake. Seriously, this kid has family drama, a tyrannical advisor, and an annoying sibling rivalry, all of which culminate in him getting bit by a snake and dying. But not before his amulet goes missing. As it turns out, the amulet's disappearance is no small thing. It's the key to his return. Cue the magic and time travel! Fast forward to the present, where Happy wakes up to find that Raman has taken over his mind. Yes, you read that right. Happy is now mind-swapping with a mummy. Raman needs Happy's help to find his lost amulet, which has now made its way to the future. They play a game of hide-and-seek with Vathor, the wizard who stole the amulet. The problem? Vathor is masquerading as Happy's teacher, Mr. Horvat. Sneaky. Things get more confusing when Happy and Raman discover that Horvat is an anagram for Vathor. And because high school drama isn't enough, Jaden, Happy's friend, gets involved, leading to an epic amulet showdown. Lightning bolts, a fight, and some pretty dubious decisions later, Happy and Raman are off to ancient Egypt for a climactic showdown. In a final twist, Isis, a goddess with a flair for the dramatic, swoops in and turns Vathor into a snake. Happy, still stuck in this bizarre adventure, helps Raman get some closure, but he's left longing for home. Eventually, Happy finds himself back in the present during class with a new teacher, Mrs. Bethany. Surprise, surprise! Now the mummy room is open! The book's attempt to blend ancient Egyptian lore with modern-day hijinks is an ambitious one. It's packed with quirky twists, a talking mummy, and a bunch of plot points that sometimes feel like they're in a different book altogether. It's a fun ride with lots of, wait, what? Moments, although it's not without its head-scratching quirks. Overall, Night of the Living Mummy is a wild mix of ancient curses and modern-day school drama. It's got enough mummy madness to keep things interesting, but the constant switching between worlds and characters might leave you scratching your head. Still, if you're up for a fantastical adventure with a mummy twist, this one's worth a peek. I give Goosebumps House of Shivers No. 3, Night of the Living Mummy, 6 talking mummies out of 10. Argle Book Review, Argle Book Review. Wow, that AI-generated review got a lot of stuff wrong. Geez, that is not an accurate summary of this book.